everyone, good morning. You're watching Market Fatafat right here on ET Now, the show where we get you a gist of all the big movers and shakers today in trade. I'm Mubina Kapasi, and let's bring on board our technical experts as well as research analysts who are going to be joining in on the show. We have with us Soumya Sharma, Kunal Bothra, as well as Gaurav Ratnaparki from Sharekhan. Good morning to all of you. Take a look at the markets. Meantime, quite nice uptick is what we are witnessing. We are firmly above 11,500 as we speak, and it's mostly the banking stocks that are really leading the rally, and that's what we're going to talk about. The Nifty Bank is yet again perched at a record high, and that's the index we want to flag off. Take a look at the way the Nifty Bank has actually rallied, and today as well the rally is mostly being led by the way PSU banks have moved up. 11 out of the 12 constituents of the Nifty Bank are in the green. In fact, we did have a very interesting brokerage report as well that came by this morning. It was from CLSA, and they did say that the recent interactions that CLSA has had with banks indicates confidence on earnings recovery, and they believe that asset quality pressures are easing, lower credit costs, and there's also a pickup in top line seen. So this is something that's very, very encouraging for the banking stocks, and all of them are gaining very, very smartly. Okay, well, that of course is the Nifty Bank. But Soumya, let's talk about GMR Infra, big news maker there.
An ET Now news break that has been confirmed, and there has been a proposed investment of 8,000 crore by Tata Group, GIC and SSG Capital Management in its airport business. Well, this investment will consist of 1,000 crore of equity infusion in GMR Airports, and will also consist of 7,000 crore to buy GAL's equity shares from GMR Infra and its arms. Post this investment, GMR Infra proposes to demerge its energy, highways, urban infra and transport business, and it intends to, keep the management control over this business to itself. Post the deal, GMR Infra would hold 54% stake, while Tata would hold 20%, GIC 15%, and SSG would hold 10% stake.
All right. Okay. So that, of course, is GMR Infra gaining a little over 2%. But keeping it with the banking names, and private banks like Yes Bank, IndusInd as well are seeing a good amount of traction. Gaurav, what would be your recommendation on IndusInd Bank?
IndusInd Bank in the last session formed a bullish outside bar, and as a follow-through, the stock is moving up today. However, the wave structure shows that this is the last leg of the rally that started from 1450 levels. So the upside potential looks limited to 1810, 1830, where there is upper end of a medium-term rising channel, and from there the stock can get into a short-term correction mode. So though there is some more upside potential, I think this is not a good level to initiate a fresh long position.
Well, IndusInd Bank, as we speak, is 4% higher. But I think we'll just keep it with the entire financial space and bring on board very quickly an ET Now exclusive. Now, nearly a dozen companies have actually lined up to raise over $1 billion via dollar bonds in the first quarter of FY21. And NBFCs are really leading the pack over there to shore up capital following that entire liquidity crunch stoked by the debt crisis at IL&FS. Neha Bothra joins us now. Neha, which companies are looking to access the debt market, and how much are they looking to raise?
This indeed is remarkable. It comes ahead of the elections. We are seeing a lot of markets after a very long time, particularly companies that are looking to raise debt via dollar bonds. Now, this is one area that has seen a lull in recent times, but there's much action being seen right now. In fact, in the first quarter of the coming fiscal, that FY21, we are given to understand at least 12 companies are eyeing a mop-up of close to $1 billion. And this is a large sum. As far as the companies are concerned, NBFCs, we are given to understand, are leading the pack, understandably, considering that many of them need to have a buffer as far as capital is concerned, particularly after the acute liquidity crisis last year. Many are still recovering from the aftermath of the entire debt crisis at IL&FS. And this is a good option that they're looking to tap at this point, considering that many of them do not see the conduciveness in the equity market for raising funds at this point, given the uncertainty around elections. And this is one reason why we are seeing a lot of interest in dollar bonds. As far as NBFCs are concerned, we are given to understand India Bulls, even Bajaj Finance are in queue, and they are looking to mop up anywhere between $150 to $200 million. This will go a long way as far as expansion is concerned, because we are given to understand that NBFCs, despite the knock they've taken in recent months, they are very optimistic about the coming quarters, where they do see an expansion in the entire credit cycle. and they see the dollar bond as a good opportunity at this point to tap into, to raise funds and buffer up capital, to really tap into this phase of growth, more in light of the recent developments we saw in the U.S. market as well, where we see the Fed being more soft as far as the entire monetary policy outcome is concerned. These are some factors that really have given the courage to NBFCs at this point of time to go ahead and access the dollar bond in the debt market.
All right. Thanks a lot, Neha, for that. So NBFCs will be the cynosure of all eyes at this point of time. Well, moving on to the next big mover, and that is ACC. Remember, Goldman Sachs came out with a view today on the cement space. And for ACC, they're upgrading the stock to a buy from neutral. And the target price is also being set at 1,770 rupees. In fact, they are preferring ACC over a big name like Ultratech Cement as well. And they do believe that the upgrade for ACC is going to be driven by favorable regional mix. As we speak, the stock price, however, has ebbed off a tad bit from the day's high, but still higher by 1%. Gaurav, Eicher Motors, once again, we are seeing the stock price decline today in trade.
Yeah, Eicher Motors is in a downtrend from short-term as well as medium-term perspective. It is forming lower top, lower bottom on the daily chart, which is a bearish sign as per the Dow theory. And on the way down, the stock has broken its crucial daily moving averages, which shows that the bears are having upper hand in this counter. And I'm expecting this fall to continue till the daily lower Bollinger Band, which is around 19,800. And stop loss for the bearish view can be placed at 21,675.
All right, that of course is Eicher Motors, 1.25% lower. Okay, I think the next stock we can go to is HPCL. Yes, OMC certainly are the cynosure of all eyes today, as Brent prices have actually gone higher. We have in fact had Brent prices perched about $67.5 per barrel. Quite an uptick witnessed over there. Do remember US stocks as well have been declining. We did see the EIA report a downtick in inventory build up, a drawdown actually is what they brought in, and that is something that's anyway kept Brent prices a bit perky. As we speak, on account of that, OMCs are declining. HPCL is at the day's low. Soumya, of course, Jet Airways continues to be a big news maker.
Well, according to reports, the cash-strapped Jet Airways is looking to operate 40 more airplanes by April end. Well, due to the recent developments and issues, Jet's operating fleet had reduced from 103 planes in October 18 to just 35. And now the airline has assured that it will be flying total of 75 aircraft by the end of April.
And it's 3% higher for Jet Airways as they scramble to meet up, to essentially cater to their passenger requirements. Remember, the number of aircrafts in operation have been dropping like a pack of cards on account of non-payment of lease by Jet Airways. Okay, the next stock is Laurus Labs. This one, remember, has been in the news of late. Lots of interest seen in this stock, especially from foreign institutional investors. Now, Laurus Labs has actually entered into a strategic partnership with Global Fund. This is essentially for 3.5 years, and they've signed the pact for treatment of HIV or AIDS with the company. So this perhaps is something that is keeping the stock pretty active. Plus, there's all that news about the promoter's stake in the company. Oh, all right. Then moving on to the next stock, Gaurav, Tech Mahindra. What would you make of the move seen in this one?
Tech Mahindra has recently formed a bearish triangular pattern on the hourly chart and has broken out on the downside. Whereas on the daily chart, it formed an inside bar and has broken out on the downside. So as a follow-through of these bearish developments, the stock is tumbling down and it is heading lower along with the daily lower Bollinger Band. Even the momentum indicators on various time frames are in bearish mode. So I'm expecting the fall to continue further. And on the downside, from short-term perspective, 746, 740 will be the target area to watch out for.
All right, 0.6% down for Tech Mahindra, and Gaurav does see more downside here. We'll take a very short break right here in the show. Come right back. News and updates continue. This is Market Fatafat. Welcome back to Market Fatafat, where we are counting down to the big movers and shakers. And here's an ET Now exclusive. Reliance Capital as well as Reliance Nippon. Both those stock prices are buzzing away today in trade, and that's an ET Now impact, as there seems to be a deal brewing over there where RCOP actually wants to offload its stake in Reliance Nippon to Nippon Life. Ajay, what are you picking up?
Well, that's correct. The two stocks are buzzing for the last couple of days. Yesterday too was a big day for them. But what we are gathering right now is that the deal which got started in January after Reliance Capital initiated to offer its shareholding to Reliance, to Nippon Life, the other partner, which both of them hold 42.8% stake. So we understand that this transaction is now has entered a final stage. In the next 1 week to 2 weeks, a week to 10 days approximately, then the announcement could be out. So the Nippon Life guys will actually pick up 32.8% stake, bringing their shareholding in Reliance Nippon Asset Management to 75%. And this transaction is likely to happen at around 240 to 250 rupees a share. And Reliance Capital will still hold residual 10% stake, which they'll sell to strategic or financial investors or in blocks, etc. at a later date. So this is a transaction which is happening, and Anil Ambani Group is right now desperately selling a lot of assets to delever the group at the group level. The management did not want to react to it when we spoke to them, but we understand that this deal is happening and it's in the final lap. And in fact, Japanese guys have already started visiting the offices of Reliance Nippon Life, and they are actively hands-on working closely with the current team.
Okay, and both the stock prices, as you can see on your screens, are reacting. In fact, we have been seeing a lot of movement in both these stocks for some time now. Thanks a lot, Ajay, for that. That's an ET now exclusive, and the impact witnessed on both the stock prices. Soumya, let's talk about ICICI Pru. This one too, big mover today in trade.
Well, yes, Mubina, its offer for sale garners strong response. Well, OFS to institutional investors get 6.3 times demand at an indicative price of 316 per share. Apart from this, this offer opens for retail investors today.
Okay, Soumya, let's also talk about Wockhardt. What's the news here?
Well, in Wockhardt, UK MHRA and Health Products Regulatory Authority of Ireland together jointly inspected Shendra, its Aurangabad facility. Well, Ireland has granted GMP certificate to this facility, which is valid for the next 3 years. Apart from this, what you're gathering from reports, the company is in talks with private equity companies to raise close to about $300 million in order to reduce and lower the debt levels on its balance sheet. The company has believed to approach KKR and Bain Capital for this fundraising.
Okay, the next stock we want to flag off is RBL Bank. An ET report has suggested that BlackRock Group has actually purchased a stake in the company. Kunal, what are you observing in the way the stock has moved today?
So absolutely a fabulous move. Mubina, the stock price is at a fresh high for itself. Strong volumes. Look at the way the stock has charged up in the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks of this price up move. It was languishing at 550. The indicators were absolutely flat. At that point of time. And once the stock took off from those 550 levels, it's just not looked back. So there was a period of brief consolidation, but that also has resulted into a breakout on the upside. So RBL Bank is a stock which is in a very strong momentum, and such strong momentums generally tend to continue from a short to medium term perspective as well. So RBL Bank could be a good buy, maybe at current levels, and I think if the stock dips and comes back to that 640 level, I think it becomes a very attractive buy at those levels.
All right, that's a strategy on RBL Bank. Gaurav, Dilip Bilkon has seen a very interesting move. I mean, yesterday we did see that dip to a level of 600 rupees. But now look at the way the stock has rebounded.
Yes, definitely. The stock is bouncing back since last couple of sessions. However, the recent fall shows a 5-wave decline on the hourly chart, which means that the bounce is unlikely to sustain in the higher territory, and in fact is likely to be followed by next round of selling. So as per elite wave theory, what we can expect is a next set of 5-wave decline. Even the short-term momentum indicator is pointing towards further decline. So I'm expecting this stock to tumble down in next few sessions and can come down to a level of 570.
Okay, so that of course is Dilip Bilkon. We are staring at gains of approximately 2.5%. The next stock we want to flag off is Gen Irrigation. Now, if you look at the stock price, it's not much of a movement seen over there, but Deutsche Bank has actually flagged off quite a bit of concerns that it has on this company. It does maintain a sell stance as they believe that this company is stuck in a leverage trap. They have very categorically stated that it is caught into a debt trap as working capital and interest payments are now eating into cash flows, and that certainly is a worrisome factor for the company. Gen Irrigation, as we speak, is just about hovering near the day's low with a 1% down tick. Gaurav, let's talk about Repco Home Finance. Looking at the move that we are seeing again from the NBFC space, we just had Neha doing an exclusive right here on how there would be fundraising exercise by these NBFCs. What would you recommend here?
The Repco Home has formed a bullish flag pattern on the daily chart and has broken out on the upside. So this is a good level to initiate a fresh long position. Even the risk-reward ratio at current level is quite attractive. So I'm expecting the positive momentum to continue further, and which can take the stock towards its daily upper Bollinger Band. So the recommendation at current level will be to initiate a fresh long position with stop loss at 455 and target on the upside will be 525.
Alright, on that note, I'll have to stop the countdown right here. Thanks to all of you for joining in. Gaurav for giving your technical strategies. Kunal and Soumya to you as well.